Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nabihah Zainol, and I will present my final year project on the title A Comparative Study on Antioxidants Activity, Caffeine and Minerals Contained in Commercial Infant Coffee Premix. For the background of study, there are two major coffee species that are usually used for production of instant coffee. The first one is the coffee Arabica and coffee Robusta. Coffee is one of the most preferred and commonly consumed beverages worldwide. This has driven the growth of instant hot drinks, with the coffee being one of it. This evidence can be seen as the sales value of Malaysian instant coffee between 2008 and 2013 increased on the average of 100 million annually. Figure 1 shows the preference of the instant coffee and the fresh coffee market worldwide, where the darker color indicates the preference of the instant coffee than the fresh coffee. Table 1 shows the frequency of instant coffee consumption based on occupation, as the self-employed had the highest frequency of instant coffee consumption, followed by the government, civil, and executive. The problem statement: there is little research on antioxidant activity of commercial instant coffee and even less information regarding the quality of commercial instant coffee. There is a scarce quantitative information on either the amount of the minerals in instant coffee which consumers drink in a day or their contribution to total intake. Significance of study: this study will give information on antioxidants activity in different brands of commercial instant coffee premix in Malaysia. Additionally, different brand of instant coffee has different process of manufacture, so the amount of the caffeine and mineral may be varies. There are two objectives. The first one is to determine and compare antioxidants activity in different brands of the commercial instant coffee premix, and to determine and compare the caffeine content and minerals present in the commercial instant coffee premix. These are the literature review on the antioxidants assay, caffeine and minerals and ash. These are the literature review on the antioxidant assay, caffeine, minerals and ash. This is the overall experimental design, where the two odd colors are the only analyses that have been carried out, which are total phenolic content and DPPH. Now for the result discussion. As the first objective is to determine and compare the antioxidants activity of different brands of commercial instant coffee premix. Table 4.1 shows the total phenolic content of the different brands of instant coffee. From this table, brandy possesses a significantly higher than the other sample in the total phenolic content, with 2.750 mg per gallic acid equivalent. Meanwhile, brand H possesses a significantly lower total phenolic content with only 0.217 mg per gallic acid equivalent. All of these samples are significantly different toward each other. According to the Zlotek et al. 2016, the difference in the total phenolic content could be influenced by the origin of the coffee beans. In addition, some bioactive compounds undergo degradation during extraction and the drying process. Perron et al. 2012 stated that the chlorogenic acid, which is the coffee's main antioxidant, can be partially isomerized, hydrolyzed, and degraded to a lower molecular mass. Furthermore, the low total phenolic content could also be due to the roasting process. Instant coffee is produced by extracting the water and separating the liquids at high temperature, followed by the dehydration concentration. This allows concentrations of the water-soluble or dispersible compound, including the polyphenols, and resulted in the higher content of these substances. According to the Ferris-Hernandez et al. 2012, the additions of the sugar stimulate the formations of the melanoidins, which can react with the FC reagent, increasing the value of the total phenols. Table 4.2 shows the scavenging effect of the free radical DPPH of different brands of instant coffee premix. From this table, brandy also presented the significantly greater DPPH free radical scavenging activity with 65.733%. However, brandy and A also presented a similar value of DPPH free radical scavenging activity as the brandy. Thus, there is no significant difference between brandy, G, and A. Meanwhile, brand H also presented the significantly lowest DPPH free radical scavenging activity with only 23.63%. Brand H and I possess a significant difference toward each of the other sample. The antioxidative effectiveness of the instant coffee was due to the presence of the polyphenols, whose main component is chlorogenic acid. According to the Vignoli et al. 2011, DPPH radical scavenging was affected by the sources of the coffee beans. Robusta beans have the higher content of the CGA than Arabica. but these compounds tend to be more prone to the coffee roasting matrix. The process of the instant coffee implicates the additions of the sugar prior to roasting. Therefore, the high antioxidant capacity observed could be due to the fact that the presence of the sugar stimulate the formations of the maillite reaction products such as the malanoidins, which activate the antioxidant capacity. Other than that, the difference in the scavenging effect of DPPH could also be due to the productions of instant coffee, as I have mentioned in the discussion of the total phenolic content, where during the manufacture process of instant coffee, the phenols, caffeine, and the malanoidins are concentrated. As a result, the antioxidant activity is enhanced. Yashin et al. 2013 stated that the amount of the chlorogenic acid decreased significantly during the roasting, and at the same time, the polymeric compounds such as the melanoidin are formed. So basically, the antioxidant activity of instant coffee is strongly influenced by the amount of the chlorogenic acid and the formations of the melanoidins. Table 4.3 shows the varied-reducing antioxidant power (FAP) of instant coffee. Findings from the previous studies can be concluded that the FAP value obtained for the instant coffee is in the range of 91.88 millimole per gram to 150 millimole per gram. These authors also concluded that the melanoidin that evolved during the roasting and the amount of the CGA able to change the FAP value of the instant coffee. Nuts, as the objective too is to determine and compare the caffeine content and the mineral present in the commercial instant coffee premix. Table 4.4 shows the caffeine content in instant coffee. The finding from the previous studies concluded that the caffeine content in instant coffee is in the range between the 1.44 milligram per gram and the 4080 milligram per gram of sample or per serving. Ludwig et al. 2011 stated that difference in the caffeine content is due to the coffee's main antioxidant. Wainka et al. 2010, on the other hand, stated that the range of the caffeine contained in instant coffee is affected by the method of preparing the instant coffee, which is exposed to a more roasting procedure. Furthermore, the caffeine content varies significantly is based on the coffee bean used in the productions of instant coffee. According to Crow et al. 2020, the difference in the caffeine content is due to the degradation of the compound known as the thiaflavin, which is resulted in the dissociation of the caffeine. Table 4.5 shows the microminerals contained in instant coffee for the calcium and potassium. Findings from the previous studies concluded that the calcium contained in instant coffee is in the range of the 0.21 mg per gram to 265 mg per gram. Potassium, on the other hand, can be concluded to be in the range of the 18 mg per gram to 6,149 mg per gram. Table 4.6 also shows the micromineral contained in instant coffee for the sodium and magnesium. Sodium content in instant coffee can be summarized to be in the range of the 20.03 mg per gram to 347 mg per gram. Findings from the magnesium content in instant coffee is in the range of the 0.8 mg per gram to 554.4 mg per gram. Among these microminerals, potassium is the one with the highest content in instant coffee, followed by the magnesium, sodium, and calcium. Table 4.7 shows the microminerals contained in instant coffee for the iron and manganese. Findings for the previous studies can be concluded that the iron content in instant coffee is in the range of the 1.85 mg per gram to 450.8 mg per gram. Manganese can also be summarized to be in the range of the 0.9 mg per gram to 54.1 mg per gram. The last microminerals which is zinc is shown in the table 4.8, which can also be summarized to be in the range of the 0.0018 mg per gram to 56.7 mg per gram. Among the microminerals, iron is the one with the highest content in instant coffee, followed by the manganese and the zinc. According to the Oliveira et al. 2012, the distributions of the macro and the microminerals in instant coffee are varied, and it is linked to a significant influence of the origin, especially the type of soil, the origin and the variety of the coffee, and the process involved in the production of instant coffee. finding of the ash content in instant coffee is shown in table 4.9, where the ash content is in a range between the 3.99% to 9.44%. The variation is might be due to the difference in the varieties of the coffee and the coffee blends. According to the Picosi et al. 2017, the mean ash content for the mean ash content in Arabica is in between 2.5% to 4.5%. Meanwhile, the mean ash content for the Robusta is 4.64%. Furthermore, the ash content is closely associated with the mineral of the coffee bean used in the productions or in the preparations of instant coffee. For the conclusions and recommendation, so brandy has the highest antioxidant activity compared to the other 9 instant coffee sample. Brandy exhibits total phenolic content of the 2.750 mg per gallic acid equivalent. Based on the result obtained, brandy also has the highest radical scavenging activity, which is 65.73%. Meanwhile, the lowest total phenolic content is the brand H with the 0.217 mg per gallic acid equivalent. Additionally, it also has the lowest scavenging effect on DPPH with just 23.63%. Based on the result obtained in total phenolic content and the DPPH, it can be said that these two are correlated with each other. The fat value obtained for instant coffee is in the range of 91.88 millimole to 150 millimole per gram of sample. Caffeine contained in instant coffee from the previous studies are in the range of the 1.44 and 4080 mg per gram of sample or per serving. Furthermore, the micromineral, which are the calcium, potassium, sodium, and the magnesium, are in the range of the 0.21 to 265 mg per gram, 18 to 6149.4 mg per gram, 20.03 to 347 mg per gram, and 0.8 to 554.4 mg per gram respectively. Then, the microminerals, which are the iron, manganese, and zinc, are in the range of the 1.85 to 450.8 mg per gram, 0.9 to 54.1 mg per gram, and 0.0018 to 56.7 mg per gram respectively. These informations on the major and the minor minerals contained in instant coffee are important for the consumer to know the total intake of the consumption. The last but not least, the ash content in instant coffee is in the range between the 3.99% to the 9.44%. And according to the Food Act and Regulation 1983, the ash content shall not be more than the 5% and shall not be less than 3%, and if the ash content exceeds 5%, there might be a significant amount of impurities. So for the recommendation, research on the another bioactive compound such as the flavonoid compound should be carried out to determine the type of the flavonoid component responsible for the antioxidant activity. Furthermore, determination treatment of sample using the various types of solvents such as the chloroform, the ethyl acetate can be done, so effectiveness of the different extraction method can be investigated in order to determine the antioxidant properties. Apart from that, the toxicological analysis can be done to ensure the safety of the instant coffee premix for the consumption. So these are the references. And that's it from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.